Wait, oh.
Oh, yeah. We're live. Hey, everybody. This is episode 11 with me. Hi, I'm Ari. And Bryan. We switched spots this time. Bryan, the big
For a
cheese
reason. For a
Knickerbocker.
reason.
No,
We
it's
switched
not
for a
that big of a
reason.
reason. Nah, it's not that important. It's only like the last episode was me because, well, I did something. So we had to talk to me about it. But on today's episode, our special guest, he also has done some things and he's played some drums, which, I mean, that's the whole point of this show, right? So
I
if
think
everyone,
so. I hope so.
our special guest today, if we can all give him a silent round of applause, is Mr. Bryan. Wow, that was a shocker. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? When in Rome, right? We got to talk about ourselves now and then, you know?
I mean, as long as we stay consistently humble about it, I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. Yeah.
And also because we had a minor issue with the getting a hold of the person that was supposed to be on the show. So we had a backup plan.
It was going to work eventually.
Right. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine.
It's not that big of a deal. I'm not stressed. It's fine.
We're fine.
At least this episode we don't have to worry about offending anybody else, and we can just have a nice carefree conversation.
Yeah. Is this episode by chance sponsored by anybody?
As I distinctly remember, we both play with Collision drumsticks, and they happen to give us a promo code called Trenches 10 at checkout. Buy yourself a pair of new drumsticks. Give them a whirl because they are fantastic. I don't think you'll ever go back.
And introducing
the newest
drum rods.
That's right. They're like hot rods.
Which I have a pair of and are phenomenal. I actually use them on my kit and they sound amazing.
We can get into that. We'll get into that discussion later on. But the other sponsor of today's video, podcast, interview, whatever you want to call it, waste of everyone's time because it's just us two, is No Nut Cymbal Sleeves. Thank you, Bill McFadden. Again, if you want to buy some cool stuff that we both use, and I think it's pretty awesome, Trenches 10 at checkout, get you 10% off. And then tell him we sent you, and he'll probably text us and say, thanks, buddies.
He will definitely give us a phone call and tell us thank you.
He will.
He's personable, and we love him.
He is. And speaking of Bill, he is on our first episode of Meet the Creators.
Yes. We are currently lining. It's a little side series that we started. It's not going to be monthly. It's just going to kind of be whenever, because
if ever, whenever.
We have plenty of time trying to figure out guests for this show and making them work without having to pull a backup plan. Thank you again, Nikki Skistimus, for stepping up literally the day before we were supposed to do the interview. Love you.
That was such a dope podcast too, man. That was an awesome episode.
Yeah, but and besides
she now uses No Nuts.
She does, thanks to us. He didn't know that was because of us until I told him.
Oh, it was you guys? Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah. Oh, it was you guys that do, yeah. But yes, Bill McFadden, great guy, No Nut Cymbal Sleeves. But anyways, yeah. So the new series will be just sporadic. We're gonna talk to Carlton from Collision and
get some insight.
Yeah, which I just love listening to him talk. Them Brits,
it's so proper.
Oh my god, yeah.
Anyway, we're diverging.
Other artists.
Other artists. Okay. Anyway, we need to get this thing underway. Otherwise, we're going to be here all night, and both our wives will be not so happy.
Very pissed.
So episode 11, Bryan, this is all about you. So most of these questions should be topics that we've maybe covered before, having discussions with other drummers. Like just in passing, just kind of.
My goal tonight is to tell you something that you didn't know about me, because as people may or may not know, Ari and I text each other more than we text our own wives or bandmates. And my goal tonight is to give you something that you don't know. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I'll let you know as soon as you say it. I'll be like, that was it. Yes. Okay, we're done. We can just stop now. Okay,
Right.
let's start at the very beginning. I know quite a bit about your history, but there
Hmm.
may be something I don't know. So if you could, for everybody else, and also for me because it might be something new, tell us how you started as a drummer and just your musical beginnings and your baby steps.
So I, according to my parents, was one of those pots and pans kids. as
That
as
those
as
are the
mo-
best
as most good
ones.
as most good drummers are. Actually, I should that's slightly in. Forget I said that. I was a pots and pans kid.
I play pot and pans, and I'm
Cut
okay.
that out. Yeah, and so I had one of those dads born in the 60s, raised in the 70s, and was an adult during the 80s, had a 6 foot tall CD tower
Oh yeah,
full of stuff. And um fun fact about me, I never touched a real drum set until I was in middle school, and I did not own my own drum set until my sophomore year in high school.
man, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, so I got really my dad played. I still remember we were doing dishes. I was visiting his house, and he started playing the Psycho Circus Kiss Psycho Circus CD from his living room because he liked to be a dork like that. And it had like this creepy, like clown circusy type of intro, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, he's finally lost it. And then you just hear the jun, 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 and then so and then
Just
I
breaks
was
into it. Yeah.
yeah, I was immediately hooked. I that was got me into Van Halen, AC/DC, Casey and the Sunshine Band. He's almost as eclectic as me. I got him beat just because there's a lot more musical styles now than there were back in the 70s and
Yeah,
80s.
and
But
I would say that musical styles now, most people of that generation are good with what they had. They don't
yeah,
really have that much interest in moving into stuff that's current.
yeah. So that was where I got all of my tastes and my initial tastes and stuff like that. And I learned how to play drums by watching old Kiss live videos from the 70s and 80s and mirroring, emphasis on that, mirroring what I saw,
And in case
not
anybody doesn't
knowing.
know, this is important.
And I didn't realize, like, I was left-handed, like I wrote left-handed and I did everything left-handed, but I was unaware that there was a left-handed and a right-handed way to do drums until I sat behind. I was in 7th grade, and it was my buddy Tyler Wickenden, shout out.
There, well, you
Our
get to
band
plug at the end.
our band name was Kill Miss America. It's the most pop punk thing. Um you
That could have
know
gone big, man.
Right. It sounds good, right?
It
Um,
does.
but his dad had his whole basement at his dad's house was just full of music stuff, and he had one of those here to here drum sets, double bass, 4 rack toms, 2 floor toms, roto toms over here. I'm picturing it all in my head as I'm telling you about all of it. But I sat down behind it and I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't the way that I do it at my house, because I didn't realize I was teaching myself how to play left-handed inadvertently. I didn't know that until I sat down behind it. So I actually had to teach myself how to play open-handed.
But again,
And
and we've talked about it before, it just lends to being way more versatile on a drum set. You play on a
yeah,
house kit, yeah, you just play open handed, easy peasy. You play on your own kit, closed hand left. I mean,
yeah, yeah, and open. I do want at some point when I have the resources to be able to set it up in my head the way that I want to. I want to be able to make an open-handed kit and like set everything up like that, just to kind of get like the Carter Beauford. You can do like the nice open tom fills
yeah.
and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's pretty much how I got started. My buddy Ryan paid $100 for me to get a drum set, because we were going to start a band together. That never happened.
What was the
And
name?
so
What was the name of that one?
the name that we were going to come up with, I don't think it ever had one. I will say my first serious band in high school, our band name was Hunting Poseidon.
That might also be a winner.
And then that band broke up after one performance at a talent show. That's such a movie script thing.
It is. Man, that should be on the CW.
And then my senior year in high school, I was in a band called Into the Crimson, and I don't think it could have gotten any more. I think that was the zenith of my emo band name.
I mean, all these band names I could see under some just like grunge rock playlist that's coming that you would not know the band. You just hear the music like, yeah, right? Yeah, like, down.
Yeah, like the names aren't bad. Like I fully admit that there's a little cringe in there, but I mean, like looking back,
no, but they're memorable.
My girlfriend at the time back in high school, she actually made us a logo, and I want to get it tattooed. Like I still have very fond. I still love how the logo, like there's all this symbolism in it and stuff like that, and
that's dope.
It was cool. It was awesome.
Good deal. Well, that's a pretty good building block to run off of. So thank you, Bryan. I did not know any of the band names that you used to be in.
that doesn't there you count. Go. No, that doesn't count. No,
but he's just taking a trip down memory lane. It's fun.
Yeah, it's reminiscing.
So you've mentioned in the past that you really don't have any formal education, but since it's just me and you and we have a little bit of time, could you do a little bit of thinking and see if you actually did have any type of somebody trying to teach you, like whether it's, hey, you could do a fill like this here, or hey, this is a rudiment that I think you probably should know, or anything like that. I know coming from me that seems like a lot because
what's a rudiment? I'm kidding. Paradiddles, flams, got it. Yeah, those are all fun, super fun words that are in a book somewhere.
All the production staff from Drummio is gonna message me and be like, "Bro, you guys can't do this."
They're in some book in a fucking library somewhere that I'm sure somebody is just super excited to read, but that's not me. No,
fair enough. I don't want to. Okay, that's fine.
But Herta, that's my favorite. That's my favorite one to just think of in my head, and it makes me laugh.
A paradiddle?
No, Herta.
Oh,
that's like the drum intro. See, hey, look, there. I'm teaching the teacher here. The drum.
I never said that.
The drum intro for "Hot for Teacher" is all Herta's on the bass drums. It's true. But to your question. Yeah, I was given, I guess pointers would be the best way to describe it. Like my uncle was like, hey, when you hit a cymbal, hit the kick drum. It helps accent.
It builds body. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't make it just sound like all wishy and like it gives it a good punch when you hit the cymbal. And back when I was in Kill Miss America back in middle school, I really hope this doesn't get demonetized for me mentioning murder. It's just a
it's not monetized at all.
Listen, Linda. Maybe someday it will be. We never know. But,
it might just take a year of doing this, and then it takes. Yeah. You never know.
But he, my Tyler's dad, he was, trying to kind of guide me and give me tips and pointers, like don't use the fucking cymbals so much.
Yeah, there's a time and place for a lot of cymbal play.
Yeah, so he's not wrong. I was literally accenting every fourth, like at the end of every measure. I was like accenting with a cymbal. Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah. There was so many of them. But
how are you telling me not to hit all of these? They're everywhere.
Right, like all these shiny things. Maybe undiagnosed ADD. Who the hell knows? But yeah, so I got pointers, but I never really I don't really know if I would consider that like education. A lot of like 90, I would say a solid 90% of what I know is literally just by listening and watching and just figuring out like, oh, okay, his hand goes here for this, so I'll get my hand and I'll watch some of the Drummio videos. I get bored after a while, but I
watched sticking technique.
Yeah. It honestly, those Drummio videos and like any educational, by the way, we love you, Drummio. This isn't anything against you personally. But being the fact that I was never actually formally trained, watching videos about how to do things properly pisses me off because it's showing me all the stuff that I didn't get.
I it's not a bad way of looking at it, because I feel like there would be a little bit of resentment. Like, I never got this training. I've been doing it. Now you're telling me I'm doing it wrong for years.
Exactly.
And now I have to try and adjust
what
it.
it is.
I can see where you're coming from.
Plus, I have you. If I need any like formal education stuff, I just be like, hey, this.
Well, I think education when you're a child, trying to learn an instrument, trying to get your foundation together and everything like that, that's where it's critical to have the training. But since you did it a completely, I guess, unorthodox way by musical standards,
yeah,
it's fine, because the music you play is the music you enjoy and it sounds good. So it doesn't really matter how your technique is or what's going on, unless you have like an actual physical issue where, say, your throne's too high or something like that and you're hurting your back. Other than that, if you play it and you enjoy playing it, who cares?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's definitely my own style. It's an amalgamation of all of the drummers that I like from the 70s and 80s, and even drummers that I take inspiration from now, like you. It's true.
Don't take anything from me, bro. Unless it's red Evans hydraulics heads.
And it's funny because and I know you're probably going to bring this up when we talk about my setup, but it's funny because like Ari, the amount of these shows that Ari and I have played, like our setups are like total parallel opposites of each other. He has a lot of toms and like an okay amount of cymbals that it's actually you've gotten a couple more since I first saw you back in 20 whatever. And my and they're all really low and everything's all neat, which proves
and organized,
nice and organized. And then you look at my rack and I have like two up, one down, super simple, and just everything's up here.
It's a bronze jungle.
And the booms are all at weird.
It bugs me. Angles. None of them are like equal height. They're just all over.
Some's a little higher than the other. My ride cymbals, like Chad Ziglia or Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden, just flatten in front of me. It's just funny to see because we're literally polar opposites setup wise, but
we both play them efficiently.
Yeah, so, I would love. Unique. That would be a funny thing that we could do at some point, is have it to where like you set up your drum set I'll set your drum set up like mine, and then I set up.
That would ruin me.
Try and play. Obviously, everything would be switched over right-handed, and vice versa, so as to not completely uneven the playing fields, because I can play right-handed and you can't play left-handed.
I'll survive. I'll make do. Well, that's a good transition point. So we got your building blocks, you got your history, fantastic. We got a little bit of pointers from other people that are in the industry, very good. Mm-hmm. So that's a good lead into what you're doing now. I know all of this pretty much, but for everybody who doesn't, because we're hosting, we don't really get to talk about ourselves. Break down all the bands you're in, all your solo stuff. I'm not going to name anything because it's going to steal your thunder. But yeah, just break it all down for us. Let us know why you're doing all of it and how it's going.
Yeah, he says all the bands, and he's not lying either.
No, I'm not.
For those of you that don't know, I tend to keep busy almost into the jargon of my beautiful wife and two lovely daughters not being able to see me a whole lot. So my main band is Stage Drive. I just joined a couple months ago, actually. It's my singer Kayla Drange is a phenomenal songwriter. She's not a half bad drummer either. I'll tell you what.
She's not.
Honest, to be completely honest with you,
we could have her on an interview too.
We could. That interview would be 9 hours long. She doesn't stop talking a lot. It's she's gonna watch this too, and she's not gonna disagree.
Yeah. She's gonna text you, man. You got it.
Yeah. But yeah, and she had a previous iteration of the band that didn't work out, and she reached out to me as I was nearing the end of my time with Two Face Wilson, the band that I had been in for the previous 2.5 years. Still on great terms with Adam. I love him. Andrew, obviously, he's one of my best friends because of that. I have nothing but love
Shout out
any.
Ketchum.
Yes, catch him. I'll make sure to let him know it's at about 20 minutes in. That's when he gets a shout out. But yeah, so she was like, "Hey, what do you think?" And I'm like, I got nothing better to do. Like, the original plan was for her and I to write an EP. Like, she would bring 2 songs to the table and I would bring 2 songs to the table. I play bass as well, and she's a very talented guitar player, and I play drums, obviously. So it's literally all the parts right there. We'll just knock it out and get going. And then she gave me a call and she's like, what if we just like make Stage Drive again? And I said, I mean, that I'm 100% okay with that. I would love to join it. They hadn't played a whole lot of shows, but I felt like it was definitely right up my alley. Musically, Kayla is very influenced by 80s hair metals, cheese, like I am. And we happened upon 2 phenomenal bandmates, my rhythm buddy Elena on bass and background vocals. She and Kayla do some really great harmonies together. And then my buddy Tim DeWitt, who owns more guitars than we do cymbals combined. I'm not exaggerating. But he's a great guitar player. He's a very smart guy. He's an MP in the Army. He's an officer though, so I have mild PTSD every time I say yes, sir. But yeah, I guess that can be the what do you have planned for the rest of the year. So that Stage Drive, it's really good. Musically, we're pretty much rock based, but we got a song called Lethal Love that we refer to as the funky song. We get a little James Brown on it, and then we got a song called Ego that has like a double time punk ending to it. It's a pretty good combination of everybody's collective influences.
So it's not. It's kind of like of Saints and Scoundrels, where we're playing just different music every song. It doesn't all sound the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the one of the songs isn't all the way over here, and one, I mean, like it's like a multifaceted Venn diagram. Like everything is connected, but it's just slightly different. So that's Stage Drive, and then I have my studio project Icast Romance. That's my EP, the 3-song EP that I did back in January is well over 11,000 streams already, which I am eternally grateful for. That was just something that I put together to use some of the song ideas that I had that, Adam from Two Face Wilson, he was the main songwriter and he wrote some great songs. And I had stuff that, and it's fine. It's fine. No, but
you're like talking yourself out of it. It's fine. I'm not.
No, hurt. I mean, but like he wanted to be in control of the songwriting, and I was fine with that. So I had all these song ideas that I wanted to do. A lot of them didn't really fit the mold of what he was doing, anyways. Because, like I said, I listened to anything from ABBA to Dimmu Borgir, and just Slipknot, Slayer,
the whole spectrum,
Lamb of God, a little bit of hip hop as well. And so I was just like, it was during COVID shutdown last year, and I was like, I just called a couple people up, and I was like, hey, you want to do a thing on the thing? And they're like, yeah, let's do a thing on the thing, and it came out wonderfully. I hope to work on. I have demos that my co-collaborator Phil Stewart, who from the phenomenal band Elsie Binks.
There's another one.
They're so great. he's been working on some demos that I'd like to kind of see the light before too long. Stage drive takes up a lot of my time, but I would like to be able to work on that because it's just, and it's set up as like a whatever whenever kind of thing. Like if I have time, cool. If I don't, then
cool.
I'll wait until it happens. I'll wait until I do. Like it was specifically set up to be a time killer, you know, in between projects, you know, if
just downtime to keep yourself from being bored.
Yeah, and also to, you know, like I said, explore other influences that I have and be able to kind of play captain of the whole thing and
you're in control of it. Yeah,
I'm the captain now. No, to just to you know, kind of wear a lot of hats. You know, I get to play my guitars and I have a lot of basses that I don't really touch a whole lot, unfortunately, that are just kind of collecting dust in the basement. It gives me a reason to throw a new set of strings on them every once in a while and
thump away. Oh, that's what's up. Do you, before Two-Face Wilson, because that was when I met you back at Cheers?
No,
yes,
I wasn't. No, I was managing Loa.
So you were not in Two-Face Wilson.
Not at the time that we met. Not when I took pictures. No.
Were you in any other bands at that point?
Before Two-Face Wilson?
Yeah.
No.
So you were
I played at the church at the church that I go to at first.
Worship drummer.
Yeah.
What up? Praise Jesus.
Non-secular music. What's up? But yeah, no, Two-Face Wilson was the first, like, I call it like adult music project that I had been in. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. Because we both met. I think we probably told the story before, but we played at Cheers here in South Bend, and it was, I think, probably the first big show that of Saints and Scoundrels had when we had our old singer and a couple other instrumentalists.
It was so hot that day,
bro. That was a good time though. Mom's Spaghetti, like, it slapped.
I can't. I will not rest
until it comes back.
I will not rest. I don't care. I will ask your permission to record a Diecast Romance version of it and have you guys all in the studio.
Oh, dude, hands down, Matt would let you have that.
Let's do it.
Just for the fun of it. He'd be like, yeah, that's
let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Man, that's what's up. Yeah, but they had a catwalk-ish kind of thing in the venue, and Brian's up there taking pictures, and he texts me after the show, and he's like, hey, buddy, sent me a bunch of pictures, and I think that's pretty much where it started, and we just started talking about drums, and that was a beautiful relationship.
You've had one of my pictures as your profile picture for the lion's share of since then.
Yeah, I mean,
that one aerial shot that I took from the top of the stairs, pointing down onto the stage.
That is still my profile picture for my Gmail account of Osos Drummer.
Hell yeah.
It's a good picture. It got everything in it. It's fantastic. Yes, so anytime anyone asks about it, you get full photo credit.
Front row photography, sitting dormant on Facebook since 2019.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Well, this is my favorite part of the show.
Oh boy, this is where I have to remember everything.
So, okay. I think you can handle it. I have faith in you. You don't really get to talk about it too much, other than with me. Outside the podcast, you're the
first one to know whenever I buy stuff.
That's fair. So if that's not a big enough clue for everybody, Brian, break down all your gear. Tell me what you're playing on, and tell me why you love it.
Okay, so my shell pack is a Gretsch Renowned Maple drum set in a finish that's name is escaping me right now, but I do know that it's discontinued. It has been discontinued for about 15 years now. That's what or at least that's what the guy that sold me the kit said it was. And the inside of the drums are coated with paint. It's this like water sealing paint. Like
it changes the resonance.
Well, that of the shell itself. Yeah, and I could basically play in the rain, and the worst thing that would happen is like rust, like on the hardware. Like it seals it seals the inside. I don't
recommend that, but I mean, it'd be a cool music video.
I was gonna say, unless you want to be Bullet for My Valentine.
Right.
Tears don't
Don't
fall.
fall.
But so I got a 22 kick, and then I got 10, 12 up, 14 down. I have a 14 by 6.5 pearl limited edition snare drum. Ari owns the one that I originally bought the kit with. It's a 13-inch Orange County custom in yellow
It
sparkle.
is 13. It's a 13 by 8
Yes, it
or
is.
13 by 7. Yeah. It's an
It's
odd
not bad.
dimension.
It's
It
not bad though,
slaps.
right?
It
Yeah,
slaps. I
it's
tweaked it.
nice.
I tuned it up. I put it on I think I put it on Kaiser's kit because I had my other kit set up, and I was playing on his little Ludwig accent, and I'm rapping away on this, and I'm like, okay, yeah, let's not leave this on Kaiser's drum set. Let's put it back on the shelf.
Well, and seeing the best part is that I know that I just have to give you a call if I need it for a gig or a session or
Oh
something
yeah,
like that. I'd be like, hey, let me borrow the Orange County. But anyways,
I mean,
so
you
that's
could
my main.
ask for any other of my plethora of snare drums. So
I will hold you to that. Um, I have a side snare attached to my hi-hat stand. That's a Pearl M80 Firecracker, whatever the official name of it is now. 10 by 5, maybe.
yeah, or 4.
I don't
It
know.
doesn't matter.
I know around, but depths I can't remember. And then I have a 20-inch pancake drum that hangs out with on my my offside that I use kind of as a other low tom, and I call it my boomstick. Um, and then I have an 8-inch tom that came with the shell pack as well. But the way that my drums are set up right now, I don't really have room for it, nor a need for it. So it's living its happy life inside its cage right now, and I plan to bring it out eventually.
It's just there for the spice.
Yeah, I had it on for a while. I had it. Yeah, I had it figured out. I had it on next to my pancake drum, kind of because there's a reason why everything is
where it is.
But anyways, it had to be off to the side, and I was playing with it, but like I basically had to have it up and over, like it was like a random like floating 8-inch tom over here, and the way that one of my cymbals is set up, I had to hit it just right, or else I'd hit like anything around it. But I'm gonna mess with it this winter. I think I'm gonna give her a shot. But cymbals, I endorse Soultone cymbals. I have a 18. I have 17, 18, 19 Crash, 20-inch Ride, 20-inch Holy China. And then I have my main hi-hats are 14-inch, which they're my favorite. They sizzle real good. And
it's so spicy.
Why is it spicy?
That's so spicy.
And my remote hats, and they're my auxiliary hats. They don't yeah. they I don't have like a cable, but my auxiliary hats are 13s. Latin percussion cowbell that I love. The big thing that everybody kind of talks about when they see my kit is my double bass pedal. It's an offset double bass pedal, which is an ironic name because everything is centered.
It's offset from the industry standard.
So just for anybody, it's just to give everybody a visual on it. Like, so with a regular double bass pedal, you got your two beaters right here, right in front of the, it's for me, it's my left foot, and your bass drum is off of your left foot. And then you have the slave pedal, and then the slave drive, and the slave pedal, and then your hi-hats. The way that this bass drum pedal is set up is both of the beaters in the middle, and then there are two smaller drivers, and then the pedals are equidistant from the center. Yeah. So when I sit behind my drum set, my snare drum is perfectly in line with my bass drum, which is directly in front of me instead of off to the left for me or off to the right for the regular people. And so the way that I had, and it's nice because it's a posture thing. Like it's kind of one of those fixes a problem that you didn't think was a problem.
No, hip placement is 100% a problem.
Yeah, it balances out the hip placement, and supposedly it's more ergonomic. I feel like that's just a made up word for like
that's a real thing.
People. I'm not good with ergonomics. But yeah, so that's like the other than it's like, oh, lefty, oh, double bass pedal, and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. What am I missing?
You're missing your
No nut,
Daru
no
Jones.
nut,
And yeah, yep.
no nut cymbal sleeves, silver ones,
Your
because
sticks.
I like to be bougie. Sticks, collision drumsticks, 2Bs. I use tree trunks for drumsticks. And that's not an exaggeration.
Oh, that's good. I might have to write that down as a life quote. I play with tree trunks.
Yep, nylon tip. Well, it's because Kayla uses 7As, and she also actually she uses collision too. I got her a 6-pack of the 5As that or 7As that they had. But I mean, I'm sitting down. A lot of people that watch this haven't seen me standing up. I'm 6'2", and I'm like a solid 260. Like I would snap anything less than that in half after half a song. Like I hit really hard.
Yeah, and then when you text me, Ari, I cracked a cymbal. Now I know why. Smacking it with a tree trunk.
I use tree trunks. All Evans heads. Love Evans. G2 coateds on the toms. Power center, coated power center reverse dot on
snare.
On the snare. Snare side 300, and then Genera Rezo heads. EMAT heavyweight on the bass drum, and then I have a lovely vanity head that my dad painted for me that has my initials for now, but he's working on a stage drive one to replace it with so that I can be all like, hey,
I'm official in a band now.
Right. I get to be a part of something. PDP rack. Yes, Ari, PDP rack.
What you got is what you got.
And then my smaller kit that I use for and then I also use collision drum rods as well, like the little stick bundle things. They're really nice. My other kit is a PDP Daru Jones New Yorker.
It's tiny.
That also gets a lot of attention. 18-inch. It's literally the polar opposite of my big kit, as it should be. I use the high tom is a 10x5, low tom is 14x7, bass drum is 18x10, and my snare drum is 13x6. So like the idea is that all three, like both the toms and the snare drum all fit in the same bag, and then the bass drum has its own bag, and then you just carry that plus your hardware and cymbals. And then I use my ride, my the two bigger crashes, my hi-hats, and 9-inch splash cymbal and 12-inch mini China also in the middle.
Oh, look at that. Forgot the tiny things.
I know. And I've been using that mini China more and more now. I really enjoy it. You were right.
It's more than just an accent. It's a cool accent, but it fits a lot of places.
Yeah, and then I throw random things on there. There was one time that I had a saw blade on a holder, like just for a little ping, like a circular saw blade. Yeah. I put it on a little mini cymbal stand and had it like to. It was cool. Bing! I still have it, and then like I'll throw like an LP rock block up there for shits and giggles. But
what a nerd.
It's constantly evolving and constantly changing.
Well, that's how it should be.
Yeah. Have fun with it, right? And then I have a tambourine that is the bane of my existence that never goes on any of my drum sets because it's annoying and rattles every time I hit anything else.
As a drummer, you should always have a tambourine, whether you play it or not.
It's very true. Oh, and then I have a Meinl slap top cajon.
Oh.
It's shaped like the T piece from Tetris, so like I can set it on my lap and hit the top instead of bending over and hurting my back more because I'm an old man.
Younger than me. But I am old, as I've been told at work. You're an old man watching the news.
And that is all of my gear.
I think that was pretty cohesive.
I tried to
included everything.
Inclusive as I tried. I really did.
Yeah, you did a very good job. I'm proud.
Thank you. I'm surprised I remembered it all.
Well, we've gone through your gear. We've gone through the bands. We've gone through your history. All your teachable moments. What are you going? So 2021 is almost over. By the time this airs, we're going to have 2 months left, if
Two and a
that.
half months.
Yeah. So that pretty much leaves us with, what goals do you guys have as Stage Drive, as Diecast Romance for 2022? I'm not going to include the rest of 21. Wintertime is bad. We're in Indiana and Michigan. Shows really don't happen too much.
There is stuff going on still. We have a show at the end of this month. It's we've played one show and we're already headlining. We're playing at the Diesel Concert Lounge in Detroit.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It's a Halloween show. I get to have a little drum solo, which is kind of nice. It'll be my first one that I've played in a professional band. Yeah, she's like, just don't make it any more than like 2 minutes. I'm like, okay, trust me, I'll tire myself out before then. You won't have to worry.
You'll know when it's your time to come back.
You'll know, yeah. But we're currently in the process of actually, and by we, I mean I have to get my ass in the studio to record drums for our debut EP. Well, yeah, I guess it's a debut EP. They released 2 singles before I was in the band, but this is like the first like multi-song. Yeah. So that's fun. I get to record with Kevin at Sound Shop again. He's pretty much the only guy that I trust to make my drums sound good, because he mics the snare from the top. This is, hey, little tip and trick here. Mic your snare from the top and the bottom and blend the sounds in post. It sounds way better than just a top mic.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down. That's because when we recorded all the of Saints and Scoundrel music, we only recorded from the top. I have another shotgun mic. We can also record from the bottom. So yeah, that's the one thing I've learned so far. Good job.
You get the snap from the top and a little bit of sizzle from the bottom, and it gives you the full body of it because, you know, the air and all that stuff. But yeah. But anyway, so 2022, we're just gonna play. We've the first batch of songs that we've done have come together very, very quickly and very smoothly. So I think moving forward after this EP, we're gonna kind of start to be a little more collaborative, because a lot of these songs were either played in the previous incarnation of Stage Drive, so they already exist in a live form, or they were songs that Kayla had written that were solo songs that transitioned into being full band songs. But Tim has been throwing around some guitar ideas that I really like, that I kind of put some drum parts to, and we're going to be a little bit more collaborative with song ideas and stuff. Stuff like that. I had Subway for dinner. But the Cali steak does not taste as good coming up as it did go down. Oh. Anyways, and then for Diecast Romance, I mean, like I said, I'd been talking to Phil about it, and then I just straight up like stopped talking to him about it after I got doing Stage Drive stuff. So we got, I think, 5 songs demoed out, rough demoed out. We even have a couple of singers lined up. One being, I guess I could say this one, Kaylee Draymond from Wisher. Yeah. She wrote some. She literally was so like, this was one of the coolest like songwriter moments that I've had in my short time as a songwriter. I sent her the demo idea, and she came back with almost finished lyrics 45 minutes later. Like, she was telling me, like, this has inspired me this much. I think it's going to be a bitchin' song, and which was nice. But cool, yeah, I'd like to get that EP if I can. I'd like to get it done by sometime next year and just get it out. That's, like I said, that's just a kind of whatever, whenever sort of situation. But I will say, we are planning on covering an Oingo Boingo song for that album, and it's Not Only a Lad. So, but it'll be fun. It will definitely be fun.
That's awesome.
And then just kind of trying to pick up a couple of sessions here and there. The show that I played at the beginning of this month, there was a rapper that wanted to work with me. His name's Cryo Raps. He said he wanted to experiment with live drums, and I mentioned that I had done a session with a hip hop artist before, STF Chef, and he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." So hopefully something will come of that.
That was one thing you didn't mention, was your live studio session collaboration.
Yeah, I've done 2 so far. It's just kind of a, like I said, that was when nearing the end of my time in Two Face Wilson, I just kind of was trying to like put all
Stay
my eggs
busy.
in different
Yeah.
baskets, and I ended up working with a guy who got a hold of me who lives in Pennsylvania, I believe. His band name is Clam, Klam. And he sent me a demo of a song, and we recorded it, and it was released. And I think if I remember correctly, it's getting close to 4,000 streams, and it was released a couple months ago. It's called
Nice.
Haze. It's got a very Jimi Hendrix 60s vibe to it. I pretty much just got to like wallop on my cymbals and get the big Mitch Mitchell, old school Purple Haze kind of, hence the name of the song.
Yeah.
Get that old school, no wing nuts on the top of cymbals, wide open sound, and that was fun. And then obviously, like I said, working with STF Chef, it was actually at the end of last year, but it finally came out this year. Just did a cool little hip hop kind of Linkin Park, Jay-Z mashup-y kind of vibe to it, and it was fun. He was impressed too. He was sitting there talking. He's like, God damn, it takes forever to set up live drums. And his uncle was the one that booked me for it. And he's like, but it's going to be worth it. And he's like,
well, it's going to be good, bro.
I did 7 takes in an hour of that song, just that song, over and over and over again. And Chef was like, I'm going to go in the live room. he's like, I'm going to go in the live room and record some video of you playing. And I was like, you're gonna need earplugs, bud. And he goes, nah, bro, I'll be good.
Yeah.
And so he's man, like over here, and I'm just going, and he's like, I got done, and he's like, damn, bro, you went fucking ham. And I was like, I told you needed earplugs, dude.
I can't, my ears are ringing. Yeah, I bet they are.
I bet they are. So yeah. So yeah, just doing, I mean, it's not something that I like actively pursue. I mean, like, I'm on Featured X, but I haven't heard anything, and it's just kind of,
it's if random. Something comes, yeah.
If it appeases me, then I'll get a hold of it.
If it sparks interest, then I'll go after it.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
But stage drive is going to take up a lot of my time for next year, so.
And that's okay. You guys have big moves coming.
Big moves. Big power moves.
Big power moves. Okay. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up, other than the infamous 8 count that Bryan so lovingly started, and then now I'm in the hot seat asking you the questions. Because, well, as everybody knows, I know a lot about drums, not a lot about drummers. So.
I get to.
I think that's accurate.
I get to be the victim of my own creation. I don't know how I feel about this right now.
I think they're pretty fair. I think you'll be okay. All right, you ready? You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Start banging it out. Okay. Favorite guilty pleasure band? I'm doing all the questions. ABBA. I kind of figured.
ABBA or Shania Twain. I'm a sucker for vocal harmonies. Shania Twain, fun fact, was my first concert that I ever went to. My dad took me. Palace of Auburn Hills when I was like 7 or 8 years old, in the round. It was awesome. She's a phenomenal singer.
I don't think I could say that's guilty though, because she's a fantastic singer.
Okay, I'll give you another one. There's this band that I just found called Eskimo Callboy. They're like rave metal, and it's like it's like the weirdest shit, but like I dig it. But everybody else that I've shown, they're like, "What is this?" So I guess I guess that's a better.
You're getting outed listening to some strange rave metal. Yeah, bro, this guy's weird. I don't.
It bops, man. Let me tell you, it bops.
I might have to look that up.
I'll send you a song. I will.
Okay.
I'll send you a song.
All right, number 2. Single favorite drum or accessory? It doesn't have to be one that you own.
Not one that I own. Okay.
I think this is a good question.
This is a very good question. Can I just say like Neil Peart's entire drum set?
Sure. Yeah.
He has one of the most he had one of the most beautiful setups. I would love nothing more than to be surrounded 360 degrees by drums and drumming accessories, like a warm hug.
It's
Um
like it's like walking into your own personal drum room where everything's been supplied.
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, and I mean obviously he's super fun. I mean, I could go on for another 50 minutes about Neil Peart. But yeah, and it's funny because like one of the craziest things that I remember seeing about it is that he had a 23-inch bass drum.
That is a very odd size.
Not 22, not 24, right in the middle,
24. Yeah.
23. But when you're Neil fucking Peart, you can ask for
You
whatever
get
you
what you
want,
want. Yeah.
and DW will give it to you.
You're not wrong. Not wrong. Well, that's a very
Yeah.
good answer. Very good. You got all the gear and accessories in,
Yeah.
in one
My
answer.
my answer is everything.
There you go. There you go. Now you're I'm gonna have to ask these because they're pretty good questions. I'm just not gonna know the answer, and that's okay. I'll admit when I'm wrong.
Okay.
Underrated drummer that you feel does not get enough credit.
I mean, really. Fine.
I mean,
Tommy Johnson.
if you could give me a legitimate reason why me, then I might think that that's a fair answer. But
I mean,
I don't think I'm a great drummer.
as far as local drummers, you're by and large one of the most eclectic drummers. So I give you a lot of credit for being able to cover a lot of bases. Don't cry. But as far as
I'll cry when I get off.
I don't need to know what you do in the bedroom when I'm not around. Thank you. But as I mean, I guess if you want a different answer, Tommy from Boba Flex and Now the Lonely Ones, he is a madman powerhouse. He is a very good friend of mine, and I wish more people would see him play because I get to hang outside stage and watch him play, and it is just mesmerizing how I mean he's 40-ish, I think. He's a I don't want to say old because I don't want him to watch this and get pissed.
But he's not a young drummer.
Right, like yeah, but he just goes, man, and like every hit is purposeful, and he's like the epitome of a flawless don't worry about it. This isn't even hard looking drummer when he
carefree
plays. Yeah, like he'll just randomly like and like do a one-handed cymbal choke and then just like let go and like in a millisecond be onto a different drum beat, and it's really cool. It's really fun to watch.
That's dope. I'm gonna give you a little bit of credit for picking somebody that not a lot of viewers are gonna know. Because I mean,
the Lonely Ones, they have like 4 singles out, and every one of them are bangers. Look them up.
Yes, they are.
Do it.
Most overrated drummer.
Lars.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to be the answer. That's your one easy one.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't
I'm sorry.
disagree.
I'm sorry. No, you will not be. He helped pioneer the whole thrash thing. Cool. He's literally admitted that he follows James Hetfield's for like tempo stuff. Like, no, motherfucker, that is your job.
True. You drive the train.
Yeah.
Oh well, it is what it is.
Although credit to James Hetfield for being able to take that role
tempo,
as well as being singer, songwriter, rhythm guitar player.
I mean, I could feel a little bit like I listen to vocal cues.
Me too.
For some things, sure, but if that's going to be the entirety of your playing, then okay. Then I mean, I can't talk. He's got more money than God, so
yeah, he really does.
Well, on to the next one. This is a good question. I came up with it myself. Since drummers are behind their drum sets, do they really need makeup?
Yes. Because they can still see your face, fucker.
That's a great
one. So I've started wearing eyeliner on stage. When I was playing in Two-Face Wilson, I did it very, very rarely, but it kind of goes back to the 80s thing. Like, we all we all take care of ourselves, like look wise. Like I got my long hair, and I just ordered some new jeans for
Oh
the
my!
29th. They're
Look at
black.
you. You're gonna be playing, and it's gonna be so tight. I can't. Gotta break them in.
It's more. It's one of those like war paint things. Like it's just like literally like a little bit of eyeliner underneath each eye, like nothing too wacko, except for the Festival of Oddities show that I played. But that was literally the point, was to look weird.
And that's
it's
why
more,
I asked the question.
yeah, it's more of just like, like that's one of the steps, like, contacts in, get your show stuff on. I mean, and I'm a theater kid. I mean, I'm used to being a guy wearing makeup. Like, it's not that big of a deal to me. So like a little bit of eyeliner pales in comparison to what I used to have to wear when I was in high school being in theater.
Fair enough. I just figured that'd be a good question since you asked me about coffee on my super cool radio interview.
What's up? Shout out, Matt.
Yeah, no kidding. That was a really good time. I had a lot of fun doing that one. Oh, okay. Here's another good one. I think this is question 6, so we're almost done. I know what your answer is going to be, but for the sake of the audience, drum racks or regular boom stands?
Definitely drum racks. I mean, on my small kit, I use stands, but I'm eventually going to switch over to a stealth rack. You convinced me to do so, giving you full credit for that. But yeah, I mean, I understand where the negativity comes with having a rack set up, because it is kind of giant looking, and you're just kind of in this like Nick Menza from Megadeth with the full cage and the cymbals coming down and being suspended. And I get it, but for ease of transport on and off stage and being able to have everything exactly where you want it to be with all the memory locks and all that stuff, I will take a rack system 10 out of 10 times.
Yep, that's a wise answer.
If I have my choice to do so. Sometimes, like I said, I'm not going to take a rack into a coffee shop and play on my 3-piece drum set,
I might have done that at one point. And it was with a pearl rack, and those, you cannot adjust those.
No, you cannot.
Good answer. Next one, we have 2 left. What is an unpopular opinion of yours?
Gent is dumb.
I don't know if that's very unpopular. I feel like there's a lot of people that feel that way. But I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. God, what else? I'm not a super big fan of Baby Metal, the band Baby Metal, and I know a lot of people are.
I've never heard of them.
I think Jim Morrison is a horrible vocalist.
That's okay. you put 3 out there, so that's fine.
Take your pick.
Take your pick.
Yell at me in the comments.
Yeah.
I will clarify. As a poet and as a lyricist, Jim Morrison was phenomenal. As a frontman, compared to the 3 musicians that were also in the Doors, he was by far the weakest link.
Fair enough. There you go. And the last question, you can choose either or.
Okay. Okay.
What is some advice you would give to yourself or to other drummers?
Ooh, I'll pick other drummers. I have a stock answer for this question because I still feel like not everybody's being like this. Actually, I'll give 2 pieces of advice. First one is, don't make the same mistake I did. Get educated. Stop worrying about stick tricks and bullshit, and actually learn your fundamentals. Set yourself a good foundation. And my second piece of advice is, don't ever think you know everything. There will always be a new technique you can try. There will always be a new way to set up your drum set.
There's always a new sound to be produced.
There's always a new sound. Yeah. There's always new made up words that people like Ari like to throw around and call them rudiments.
I don't think there will be any new rudiments.
And a third piece of advice, really quick: don't just focus on one genre.
I think that's going to be the best advice.
Diversify. Listen to country. I know it's dumb, but
some of their drummers are not bad.
You look at guitar players like Zakk Wylde and John 5, and they do chicken picking in metal songs, and everybody thinks they're phenomenal when it's literally stock techniques that are just used in a different genre.
Yep.
Find those things. I mean, Latin music especially. Oh my God! Like,
I would say Latin and jazz.
Yes,
and maybe some reggae.
I'm not a big jazz fan, but I understand why you would say that.
Yeah. Is that a good thing?
Nerd. Yeah, don't just be like, metal is the only way. Like, diversify yourself, learn from other people, find other drummers, and do this, shoot the shit with them. Hey, will I do it this way? Hey, will I do it this way? Oh, that's cool. I'll try that next time.
I mean, that's how I got cymbal sleeves. So, yeah. Speaking of that, so that was the 8 count. I think I did pretty good. So I'll give myself.
I think you did very good. You threw me for a loop. I thought you were just gonna do the ones that I've done in the past couple episodes.
No, I put some new ones in there. We might actually keep some of them.
I feel like I am. Yeah.
I think that was my
part. Since it's my part.
It's true. Now maybe we could flip flop since I did okay. But anyway. I think we've gotten to we're at 1 hour, and I think
1 minute and 35 seconds.
I think we've done pretty well. So at this point, I think it's safe to say, Bryan, would you like to give us all the plugs, and we can wrap this puppy up?
Yeah. So like I said, Stage Drive has 2 singles on Spotify. Thank You for Loving Me and So Damn Right. So Damn Right is actually being re-recorded with new instrumentals, courtesy of myself and Tim and Elena. Keep a lookout for our EP. I think it'll be out. I'm pretty sure it'll be out by the end of the year. It's kind of like a floating release date at this point, because I still have to get in there and do my shit first. We're on Facebook and Instagram. I don't think we're on Twitter. Nobody uses Twitter anymore anyways, unless
Facebook shuts down and then
or unless you don't want to piss off your snowflake friends with your political views. Thank you. That's my one political thing.
That's your one stab for the night. Yeah.
1 stab per episode. So yeah, Facebook, Instagram. Check us out. I mean, I'm biased, but I mean, I've let already listen to some stuff, and he's seen some stuff on Facebook, and I think that he's pretty much in line with how good we sound. Diecast Romance, I'm literally just on Spotify. I tried to do a Facebook page, but I suck at maintaining it, and there's not a whole lot going on with it right now. But you can still listen to my debut EP Contrivance. It's on all major streaming platforms. And I'm on Instagram at diecast_drummer. And shout out to Carlton at Collision and Bill at No Nuts, and people that I've never spoken to at Soultone.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for the discount. But please, and then obviously this, I mean, like, this is our baby too. So, I'd love to see this grow. So, if you can check us out on Facebook, we're like really close to 1,000 likes. We've discussed an idea.
Monetizing.
And we've discussed doing some sort of giveaway once we get to 1,000 likes. We haven't really put anything in set anything in stone yet, but you and I have discussed it. So I would love to do that. And monetizing would be great, because I'm still paying for StreamYard, and I'd love to be able to at least recoup those costs.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
I think that's pretty good. Well, this has been episode 11 with your host Ari, your co-host, Bryan,
the penultimate episode
it
of
is
season 1.
it's
Stay
the
tuned for the season finale next month, and then we're
the
taking a month off because we're old and fucking tired.
no, it's because it's the holidays and we need to spend time with our families.
We're taking a gap month like rich kids do in college.
Damn. Okay.
I'm just taking a gap year, Dad. I'm going to Slovenia for no reason.
I'm backpacking Europe.
I'm staying in the hostels. What? There's a movie about that? No, I don't want to watch it. Just tell me when I get home.
Oh my god. Anyway, check out Collision Drumsticks, Trenches 10 at checkout, 10% off. Check out No Nut Cymbal Sleeves with Bill. Get you 10% off with Trenches 10 code. Thank you so much, everybody, for giving us a view and a listen. And we hope to catch you guys on episode 12. Good night.
Good night.